Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to get clients using LinkedIn. I've been teaching this for over 7 years now and doing this for over 7 years now as well. So it's going to be some fire content for you guys. All right, so this all starts with LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn, you got to get one. Pretty much all hiring managers that you're going to want to reach out to are going to live on LinkedIn. And that is how I have built all the relationships that I have now, and as well as all the guys that have worked for Job Future and anyone who's gone through Headhunters Academy. So get LinkedIn. I'm also going to recommend Sales Navigator. If you go to Sales Navigator free trial, they have a great free trial on here, 30 days, and then it's about $100 a month after that. But get 30 days for free. So the general premise is we want to find hiring managers. We want to find people at companies who have the power to hire. And we also want to be targeting the right companies who can do this. So this is very important, and it's probably it's very much like where you make your money in recruiting by targeting the right industry and the right people, and then that plus the right timing generally is going to turn into a client. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to get the search loaded here and type in CTO. I'm going to move my little bubble over there. So you can see if we type in CTO, we've got 880,000 people. So there's a couple things we need to narrow down. We're gonna go. Now you could just go United States. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to focus on a tech hub like Seattle. Seattle, San Francisco. Now, so let me take a step back here. So I'm going to be going after um, generally software management. So director, VP of software management, or software engineering rather, director of software engineering, CTOs. That's generally who I would say 75, 80% of the individuals I reach out to, because I like to do software related roles for placements. Now, some other good roles that anyone who has a title that's director or above, if you've watched my webinar, I talk about this. I'll put a link to my webinar in the description if you want to go watch that. But I go over those different titles, and it kind of starts with the director level and goes up from there. I'm mostly in the software engineering world. There's also, though, director of operations, or sometimes you might even connect with an HR person, or sometimes it might be sales or VP of sales, or and sometimes if the company's smaller, it might even be the CEO or the COO directly. So seriously, all those titles can work. So for example, today though, we're just gonna pretend like we're going after this. So there's a couple ways you can do this. First, you're gonna narrow it down to a city. Let's just do Seattle for now. If we're gonna kind of cast a wider net right now, this is one route that we can go down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do internet, and this is actually slightly different than LinkedIn Recruiter. So let's just do software development. Okay, and then uh, let me do, okay. So company headcount, this is a very big one. I've definitely worked with clients larger than 200 people, but when it comes to recruiting and solo recruiting, which is what I teach, um, you're really going after the lower hanging fruit. And the lower hanging fruit is going to be companies that don't have as much infrastructure, they don't have a recruiting organization or team or department. Um, and so really, I find the sweet spot is kind of in this more like 11 to 50 or 51 to 200 area. That those clients, those companies are really going to be more likely to work with you because again, they don't have, most times they don't have the HR, the recruiting individuals. Not to say that if they do that you can't work with them. That's just going to depend on the organization. So I'm going to go 11 to 50 and 50 to 200. Okay, and then for job title, I think we already put CTO in here, but let's just go put CTO again as the current. I think LinkedIn was suggesting Chief Technology Officer as another one. Same amount of results. So LinkedIn's smart enough most times to be able to include both of these. All right, so we have 173 people. So there's a couple ways you can go about this. You can, oh, there is one other thing. So let's see here. Let me go to see all filters and make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so that's it. And then I think I was looking for keywords. Maybe I'm missing it here. Sorry, if you're wondering why I'm having a hard time navigating this, it's because I mostly use LinkedIn Recruiter, which is much more expensive. Um, but Sales Navigator for the business development stuff works very, very well. And a lot of people actually do their first deal just with Sales Navigator. So it's actually still very powerful. It's just different. It looks a little different. So I think the keywords would be here. So we're going to try this, and it may or may not work. I'm going to try we're hiring. Okay, that did work. So you see that took us from 173 to 14 people. So this is one kind of, I guess, trick, if you want to call it that. I don't see we're hiring on their subject line like I might in Recruiter, but let's open this guy's profile and just take a look what it says. All right. So yeah, that's interesting. So if you have LinkedIn Recruiter, you'll see oftentimes we are hiring right here, and it will actually show you if they're hiring, if they've posted jobs or whatever. I'm trying to see if it's grabbing this from anywhere in here in Sales Navigator. I don't see it, but it did change the results when I put those keywords in. So probably diving in a little too deep here. The bottom line with this, the thing to think about here is 9 times out of 10, companies of this headcount, they're going to be hiring. So there's a couple ways to do this. First way would be you could just forget about this keyword, just hit enter and go back to your 173 results, 176 now, I guess. And what you're going to do is you're going to connect with Nimrod, Verid, and some people require their email to connect. Sorry, I have like a gnat like flying in my face right now. Some people require their email to connect, and that's a customized thing that they can do. You can see this guy Travis does not require that. So you could just assume they're hiring. It's a little risky because if they're not, you can look like an idiot. But sometimes I'll just say, "Hey Travis, noticed you were hiring," and you could say at um, I can't move this to see. It's at like Builders something. Darn it, Builders Capital. You could say, "I noticed you're hiring at Builders Capital. Want to see if there's any roles you need help. Um, you need help searching for. I work with candidates in the Seattle area and would love to see if I can help you." Um, you could drop your calendar link right then, and then just send the connection invite. Or if you want to go a little bit lighter, some people don't like to be as aggressive. They like to just say, that's more what I would do, but some people say like, "Hey Travis, would love to connect," or "love to connect," or they are another way is like, "I'm here to help if you ever need it." Again, I've seen a lot of different styles. I'm not a big fan of that, but some people do it. The real goal here, just to paint a bigger picture, is once you connect with any one of these individuals, remember, we've done our work on the front end to know, okay, these are the right industries and people to go after. So once they connect with you, you can then message them as much as you want, right? You like the way that LinkedIn works is you can see these are all second degree connections or third degree connections. If you're not a first degree connection, you can't message them for free. But once you're a first degree connection, you can send them a message for free. Um, so that's really what we're going after. So the first message, I wouldn't overthink it. It's just, you just kind of want to get it sent. And then from there, once they connect with you, you'll get a little notification on LinkedIn says like, Eric and Dylan, accepted your connection invite. Then you can actually begin the conversation from there. So let's say he did connect and said, hey, Jonathan, thanks for connecting, or happy to connect, or whatever. Then from there, again, a lot of different ways you can go about this. I actually don't like Builders Capital. So I'm going to look at Logic's board really quick. I'm going to open another tab here. Look at Logic's board. And let's just pretend that Eric over at Logic's board responded. So here's Logic's board. Let's see if we can see a little bit about them. People, trying to see their, so 109 employees. And you can see their job openings here. Sometimes the job openings are not always on here. So engineering 0, 6 months. So I don't see any listed here, but the number one place to look is really going to be their website. So I almost always go straight to the website. Because if you go down to careers is either at the top or the bottom. You go to view open positions. Boom. This is what we want. This is a really good position, actually. And then you can see all these openings. Like, this is insane. You get this one client. Now, some of these are not in the States. This one is. A lot of these are in Mexico, Brazil. So I'm not going to work those. But this is a fantastic one. Seattle remote engineering manager. An engineering manager is generally going to be $180,000 to $220,000 salary in the Seattle area for an established company. And so if you get a signed fee at 20%, you're looking at about a $40,000 fee on just that one role. And that doesn't include future positions they might give you, or you could work with that person to fill more roles. That's always the best when you place someone who's in management and then they become the hiring manager. One of my best clients, that was how I did a lot of placements with a cybersecurity firm in San Francisco. A couple of years back, was I placed a director, and then the director had to staff the office. So we were super tight because I found this guy a job, and then he filled like 3 or 4 positions with me. So, anyways, so that is one way to do it. The other way, which I'll go through the sort of faster version here, you could use LinkedIn to search for a job or go to their job board. So I'm just going to go to, let's go over here, and let's just do senior software engineer. And you want to go to their jobs section. So you can see if you go to jobs, so you kind of want to open up their, see all jobs. And then this is where you could do remote, or you could do, yeah, here's what we're looking for, like location. Location doesn't, so you could reverse engineer it in a sense. You search for the job, this is a well-paying job, and here's a great city where there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of software engineers in Seattle. Or you could do San Francisco or Denver or Austin or Los Angeles or New York or Miami. Like, you could do Chicago, any of those major cities. There's always going to be plenty of opportunity, plenty of tech hubs, plenty of people hiring. So what I like about LinkedIn is you can see we have 10,760 results for just senior software engineer just in Seattle, and you can see a little bit about the company. 501 to 1,000. PwC is obviously like very big. I'm probably gonna see if there's any other filters that might be helpful here. I'm gonna do mid to senior level, and we're gonna do full-time. Remote's always nice because you can get a much better staffing pool. And if you want to make sure you're getting a high paying role, you could go by salary. So you can see, you can kind of make your money going into it. So now we have 314 results. Now, the one downside to this would be, okay, this is a big company. They probably 9 times out of 10 are not going to work with a third party recruiter like me. And then you also have to be careful, like here's a recruiting agency, JobBot, so we don't want to reach out to them. So that's the one thing I would keep an eye out for. And unfortunately, I don't think LinkedIn gives you a way to filter out by company size when you're on the job search. Now, that being said, that is why, going back to this, kind of bringing it full circle, that's why I like to start here. Because I already know if I start with the company headcount and then I go to the careers page like we did over here, we already know, all right, these guys probably don't have, even if they have one or two recruiters, they probably don't have a very big infrastructure like Amazon has like hundreds or thousands of recruiters, and they still work with third party too, funny enough. But most of the companies that size actually will not. They don't feel like they need to, and they have a team built. So that's the other way to do it. I will either do that or I'll go to Indeed and I'll start here. Sorry, I'll zoom in a little bit. So then here, if you want to do the same thing, senior software engineer, Seattle, and then I'll show you a few tricks on Indeed too. So go over to, so we want to do full time, and we want to do, where's they used to have a little advanced tab here. Senior level is fine. That's cool. Look at, they've got all these different developer types. That's new. No clearance. Where's that advanced tab? I guess did they just take that out? That's super lame if they did. You can go by company. That's kind of nice. So one thing I was going to say here, I'm sure it's in here. They just moved it. They used to have it's an advanced, and I must be missing it. You used to be able to exclude the staffing and recruiting agencies, so you knew that all the jobs you were looking at was not another recruiter posting it. They couldn't have gotten rid of that. That's been on here for years, but they've changed this, so maybe they got rid of it. Anyways, so what I'll do on this, on Indeed, is I'll scroll down and you'll see the big names: Uber, Indeed, eBay, CrowdStrike. Like, these are massive companies. We don't want those ones. And you'll also be able to tell if they have a rating. Generally, that means that they're a larger company. So I'm looking for someone who doesn't have ratings, who I've never heard of. Or they can have some ratings, but like, okay, see, SciTech Biosciences. There's no rating. Notice how like NVIDIA, it's a massive software like chip company, Microsoft, of course, like they have ratings. These guys don't. So I'm going to place a little bet here. SciTech Biosciences, I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to bet that they're maybe a couple hundred, maybe less. SciTech Biosciences. Sorry, let me go back here. I think it was stuck on the jobs. Okay, here we go. Okay, so 307 employees. See, so that, and then oh, cool. So they did a $120 million round of funding too. So that's a great company to hit up. Let's see if we can find some more. If you want to drop in the comments here, if you can find where the advanced search went. It used to be right there, and I don't know where they moved it, because there's no way they took it away, because I had some good stuff in there. All right, let's find one more. So Google, Apple, no. Here's one, Onduril Industries. You know, if the name's not like super fancy also, that you also kind of know, it's I spelled it wrong. On the real industries. There we go. They do look a little larger. Yeah, 860. So I'd skip that one. Ooh, vendor. That looks like a startup. VENDR. Okay, I like it. 314. I like that. The no-brainer SaaS buying platform. Cool. Yeah, so that would be one I'd reach out to. And again, I'm not saying you can't reach out to these larger ones. It's very hard to get in. There's just a lot more you got. And even if you do get in with someone, there's a lot of hoops to jump through typically. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. That is how I prospect and how I get clients. So if this was helpful, give the video a like, comment below on what you're going to do to take action on this. Maybe it's not for recruiting, maybe it's going to help you in some other way. And then also please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to be able to give you guys more valuable content like this. Have a great day. Thanks so much.